Let's head to the coach of the Blues. Michael Voss has been good enough to join us on Fox Footy. Vossy, the rain, what does it do to your plans tonight? Obviously a more simplistic game style, but what's the message to the boys before they head out there?
A little bit of simplicity in the way that we play. Looking at conditions, it is going to be quite slippery early, so expect to be a lot of pressure around the ball. Try and take territory a little bit early, get a bit of a feel for the game, and then set up from there.
How do you get something out of your weapons? You've got Kerno Mackay up forward, Vossy, and we know how good they are one-on-one. They're probably not going to get that many looks at one-on-one contests tonight.
No, they're not, but what they've been very good at is being able to win their battles. I think they're very strong in the contested marking part of the game. Obviously, conditions make that a little bit harder, but it's always that combination of having those aerial threats as well as the ground level threats, and we just need our smalls turning up. The inclusion of Jack Martin coming into the game will be an important one for us. Obviously, having some balance in the way we come forward will be important.
Vossy, we're fascinated outside looking in about the use of Jacob Wiedering and what he does for your team. First half of last year probably is how he's playing now. Second half of last year, he was unbelievable. He beats a man. He does the role you probably ask him to do week on week. But can you explore more with Jacob? Is he the Jeremy McGovern, Darcy Moore type, or you just need him to do a role and beat his man?
No, I think we can concede some of that, Kingy. We've certainly had plenty of discussions around that, and obviously we've been talking over the last couple of weeks around our defence and what it needs to look like, and how we support Weeders and how our system moves together will be important. So there's obviously individual battles that need to be won, but then there's a system that needs to operate around it, and it has to operate to our strengths. So we feel like we haven't quite got that as good as what we needed. Certainly not consistent enough, and that's obviously something we'd like to implement tonight.
Vossy, it's been a big 5 weeks for the group. You've played against the top teams in the competition, some close wins, some close losses. What have you and the group learned about yourselves through that tricky period of playing against the very best and coming away with some wins and some losses?
It's a great question, because I think there's obviously the disappointment we haven't been able to get the job done every single week. We've been thereabouts without being able to complete the game. But you learn as much as what you do from your losses as what you do your wins. And, there's some things in our game that clearly last week weren't in shape. Our contest and our pressure around the ball was off. Collingwood was certainly on in that part of the game, and obviously changed the way we were trying to play a little bit. Wouldn't take the game forward in key moments, and obviously we lost important territory on the game, and the inside 50 numbers says so. So we look to correct some of that. We're obviously competing against a very, very good midfield tonight, so we'll hopefully get some drive from there.
Vossy, we spoke, it must be 3 or 4 weeks ago now, when Pitnet came back into the side, and just talking about whether you were convinced that the 2 ruckman was the way to go. You're probably sitting a little bit on the fence. The results have been pretty good, though, the way De Koning and Pitnet have married in together in that role.
Yeah, they have, and obviously Pitto, I think he's been in some great form the last 2 or 3 weeks, so he'll have his hands full tonight with Gawn. He's gone up against him a number of times, so he certainly knows his strengths. And obviously Tom's been able to have an impact forward as well, and come in with a little bit of freshness and be able to jump at it and coming at second ruck. So we sort of feel like, generally, if you take a bit of a trend over the course of the last month, you'd have to say it's been pretty positive.
Sam Walsh has been unbelievable on his return, Vossy. You must be thrilled with what he's brought back to this midfield almost instantly. And I guess I slant that question to Jack Martin, the same. Straight back into the team after a long absence. You must have confidence in his program.
Yes, and he's been going for a while, to be fair. He had a couple of niggles that stopped him from probably being able to take the next step in his conditioning, but he's had a lot of conditioning. We sort of held back another week or two just to make sure. So it's not just about one game. Obviously, we're trying to get him back to be able to play consecutive games and be able to finish out the year strongly. But he's been an important player to us last year. He's a very important presence. He brings great leadership. He's as tough as they come, and not many people talk about him like that, but important player to us.
Vossy, what kind of score do you think you're going to have to kick tonight to win the game, given the wet and the style of contest both teams will probably bring?
Probably about 35 points, Sarah. So it's,
I can't wait for this one.
should be epic. Should be epic. Make sure you tune in right to the end. So, look, we think probably, it's hard to tell. I mean, certainly if we get our opportunities, we're going to take every one of them. But we also understand that we're against a side that historically has been very, very hard to score against. So there's one thing to try and score, but you've got to be able to bring that fight back to them as well and be able to defend on the other side of the ball and just be really patient for your moments. And so it might be low scoring, I'm not sure, but we'll certainly try and put some scoreboard pressure on if we can.
Brilliant. Vossy, enjoy tonight at the MCG and let's hope it is a great game. Thanks for your time on Fox Footy.
Cheers. Thanks for your time. Cheers.